Welcome back to the Renegade Report. I'm Francis Mayer, Sports Information Director for the greatest junior college athletic program in the known universe. And why are we the greatest? Well, because our history goes back to 1913, back when cheerleaders wore skirts down to the floor, and they had pom-poms that went down to the floor. I'm working on a project right now with Manny, our media specialist at BC, and it goes back to the 1953 Rose Bowl when maybe 60,000 people from Bakersfield went to Pasadena to watch him take on Northeast Oklahoma University. And one thing I noticed were the cheerleaders. Cheer has been around just about as long as football. And football wouldn't be the same without it. And that's why today we have brand new cheer coach, Heather Foss.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
That's good to see you again. And there's a whole new deal happening at Bakersfield College right now. Now, you have pretty strong feelings about the role of cheer in the entertainment spectacle that is football and even basketball. Tell me a little bit about that.
I just feel like they're cheerleaders. They're not just cheerleaders doing stunts. They're not just cheerleaders being a part of a little dance routine out there shaking their booties in a short skirt. They're inspiration leaders for the school. They're the ones that are supposed to be encouraging every single sport, not just football, basketball, chess, anything that has to do with Bakersfield College athletics or just on school grounds. I think our cheerleaders need to be a part of it.
Right, because cheer and moreover, spirit is the reason why we wear the logo. It's the reason why we're even on teams. It's because we're part of something bigger than ourselves. And that's something you and I have talked about, and that's something that you and I are both into, and we're both really proud to be a part of the legacy of BC. I brag about it all the time, and so much so that when I leave Bakersfield, I forget, when I leave California, that not everybody knows that BC stands for Bakersfield College. Heather, believe it or not, some people believe BC stands for Boston College.
Oh my gosh, I've gotten British Columbia.
Yeah, no, both are incorrect answers. BC stands for Bakersfield College. That is it. Now, opportunities abound. We always like to include people at BC, and you're in a position to include some people on the cheer team. Now, how does that work? Are there just a few spots available? Because we had cheerleaders for basketball season and football season, right?
Yes, absolutely. Every year we start fresh. So we have a week-long tryout. It's like an evaluation. You have 3 days of tryouts where they're learning different things, and then on our fourth day, they go in front of a panel of judges. Doesn't matter if you're a veteran cheerleader prior, everybody starts on a fresh slate into the new season.
Okay, so what do I need to do to be prepared for that?
Well, Francis, are you trying out?
Are you putting me on the spot right now? I'm a little bit out of shape. I don't know. I would like to come to one day of the tryouts, and maybe I will try to try out. How about that? That's the best I can promise right now.
I'm so good with that. I'm good with that.
Okay, all right. Because men do have a place on your cheer squads because you're big into the stunts.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? I mean, that's something that you and Sean do quite a bit of, like in your spare time, right? You let that dude throw you 15 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Can we expect to see more of that if you have the right athletes on the field?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't expect it to be anything less than that. I'm not saying that it's going to be all stunting. I'm not planning on turning Bakersfield College cheer into an all-star team, which is what else that I do on the side. It's going to stick with traditional college. However, I do want to up the ante a little bit. I want to go a little bit further, changing things a little bit, going into a different direction. So we are a team to remember from now on.
Right. And do you think that's going to be more fun for the girls?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't think so much that that's an involvement just on their part or my part. It's like, cheer, any sport that you do, it's a family. You're not just there to do your practice and go home. You're always thinking about these people. And even though you're not the best of friends, you know that you have to have each other's backs at all time.
Right, and people have had your back before, speaking of backs, and I don't mean to embarrass you, but if there's somebody out there who feels like maybe they're not in condition, or they're like, I don't quite know if I'm good enough, or maybe they've put on some weight since high school or something, you made a tremendous comeback. You had a terrible accident.
Yes.
I mean, we're frankly, you're walking, and that is a miracle.
Absolutely.
It's a miracle you lived, to be perfectly honest. But the fact that you were able to get back into condition and come back and cheer is a wonderful thing. So you're ready to help other people do the same thing. I mean, we're not asking you to go out and get in a car accident, for crying out loud. But if some other circumstance befell an athlete's life where they feel like they're not exactly 100%, if you have the passion, we want you to come and try out. Isn't that correct?
Absolutely. You can overcome anything as long as you put your mind to it. I mean, an excuse is always going to be there, but an opportunity is not. And I wish everybody in the world had that same mindset.
Yeah, I wish we had the picture here, but you a few years back, you were unrecognizable for a little bit.
Yeah, I was. And it's funny, well, not funny, but the week of that accident that happened where I herniated 2 of my discs and I got musculoskeletal tissue tears down my spine.
And the car, my God, okay? We worked in the news business at the time, and it was just like, whoa.
Yeah. I was
Scary.
actually leaving Bakersfield College because I was running for BC Homecoming Queen. That night in the hospital, I spent a couple days in the hospital, and I still made it to homecoming in a neck brace in my BC cheer uniform and won homecoming queen just 2 days later. But I was just determined to go. I just wanted so badly to be a part of the BC event that was happening. I could not miss out on that.
Right, but that's the energy that you're bringing back to your alma mater. I know you're really proud to be from BC. Chris, can we pull that flyer up real quick? Here it is, BC cheer tryouts for the 2015-2016 team. That's next week. And if you go to the athletics office, we can direct you to the dance room. It is upstairs right off the basketball floor. It's not hard to miss. Just ask somebody if you can't find it. And Heather, I think your contact info is on there, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And you're calling people back.
Absolutely.
And emailing them.
Emailing, text messages, just give me a call and I'll answer any question you have.
That is awesome. Of course, if you don't have time to pause this right now or write all that down, don't worry. You can go to gogades.com and get the rest of that information. Now, you were part of the Bakersfield College cheer teams. I believe it was Marvin Rainey. Was he out there when you were there?
Becky was my coach, but he did come and do a few little dances with us, and he cheered with us at homecoming, of course, every year.
Right, and we can't leave Becky Whitson out of this. Speaking of homecoming, you coming back, Becky coming back, this is a homecoming in its own.
Oh, yeah.
Because Becky, too, had some things to overcome.
Absolutely.
She had a hip operation, and she's been involved with BC cheer and athletics, I think, her entire life, really. Much like you, she's dedicated her life to spirit and education. And I know that it was hard for her to be away.
Yeah, it was.
You know. And for her to be back into a position to come back, I mean, I'm just really anxious to see what kind of energy that you all bring to the table. Now, in the past, hasn't there been some sort of summer cheer clinic or program? Was it something that you did in the past?
For BC cheer or just outside?
Yeah.
We have practice over the summer. I mean, we practice 1 day a week. We have a camp. We are talking about having a community event where you basically spend a day with a BC cheerleader over the summer as a fundraiser. So that's something that we could all be looking out for.
What if like a 45-year-old man wants to spend a day with it? Is that... We might have to have a chaperone.
Well, he will be learning a dance routine and some stunts.
Okay.
So
he better be in shape. He better be ready to put in some work. That's what happened there. And then the other thing that surprised me, I was going through my notes the other day. Is this right? Do you guys only practice once a week? Because I know your ladies, they are really busy, of course, because they're full-time students, but just once a week?
Summer times is 1 time a week, but when we're in football season, so the whole fall semester, we're 2 times per week.
Okay, all right. But that's an intensive workout.
Yeah, it's not hanging out talking on our cell phones the whole time. We are put to work the entire duration of practice.
Right. And talk about that, though, because being a cheerleader does take discipline. Like, we're not going to see your cheerleaders on the sidelines playing with their phones or being distracted.
Absolutely not.
Like, they're into the game.
Yes, this is their job. They wouldn't go to their job serving as a waitress or waiter walking around on their cell phone. It's the same thing with the BC cheer team. You know, this isn't something that is just a club. This isn't just an extra activity. This is your job. And this job comes before your actual job. School first, then us. That's it.
Well, and that's the way I've always known you to do it, and I wouldn't expect any less from your teams. And the cheer squad, it really is important because they are an exemplar, and they do show the fans how to react and how to get into it and keep them engaged. And then it's a team effort. We expect the athletes on the field to do it. One more time, Chris, to that graphic, we want to remind everybody that cheer tryouts are coming up. You can go to gogades.com for more information, or it's right here on the screen. If you want to be part of the 2015-2016 cheer team, you're going to want to come to tryouts. You're going to want to get in touch with Becky Whitson. or Heather Foss and show up and shake your stuff. Be ready to rock and roll. So, Heather, thank you so much for being on the show. Good luck with tryouts.
Thank you.
Cannot wait to see the team you put together. Coming up next, we have another critical part of our game day operations. He is the maestro of the drum line. He is the master of the band, Tim Heasley. He's going to be on the Renegade Report next. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.